It comes to no one's surprise that Season 5 of Star Trek Enterprise never happened. After multiple attempts to reinvent the show for modern audiences, UPN decided to cancel the show after the 4th season. An unsuccessful attempt at Season 5 was made, but of course was proven unsuccessful.
What is redundancy?
It marked the first time in 17 years that no Trek episodes were produced. It was a landmark time, and not for the right reasons. However, years have passed and ideas have since leaked about what the 5th season of Enterprise would have been. Today's video will focus on those possibilities to tease our imagination. As usual, if you like the video, maybe subscribe. It was revealed years ago that writer and science consultant Andrei Bormanis wanted to thoroughly examine the relationship between humans and Vulcans after the events of Season 4. This in turn would have set us up for how things were in Star Trek the original series, nearly 100 years later. Season 4 showrunner Manny Coto said another primary focus would have been the Earth-Romulan War. This was hinted at several times seen in episodes like Babel 1 and United. This is obviously a huge point that was left unexplored in Season 4. In my opinion, the idea seems like it was taken after Deep Space Nine and the effects of a major scale war. These events of course would create the backing to what we know in the Next Generation and Deep Space Nine. It would have also created the Neutral Zone, a place of high contention in the Trek universe.
It seems this time you are the one who has made an aggressive move across the Neutral Zone.
It appears the events would have still followed up the atrocious These Are the Voyages, but I have a hard time believing that.
Why don't we change the subject, okay?
As the big jump in time is highly indicative of the crew knowing Enterprise would be coming to an end. Regardless, it seems it would have a positive consequence, like Jeffrey Combs' Shran becoming a possible part of the crew. Shran was a popular character on the show, and his chemistry between Scott Bakula's Captain Archer was a great point in the show.
I imagine my first diplomatic mission would involve sitting around a big table, toasting with champagne, signing things with lots of pens.
The pink-skinned sense of humor.
A lot of theories speculate that this edition would have been similar to that of 7 of 9 on Voyager. Combs himself actually talked about this on an AMA 5 years ago, mentioning the possibility and the great conflict that would have came with the idea. The Enterprise would have also went through a refit, one with a secondary hull matching future Federation ships seen in the original series, the Next Generation, and Voyager. This would have been a big cost addition since a large part of the CGI shots were reused through the entire show. This would have been totally dependent on the budget. It's also an idea that I really loved, as it would have been cool to add to that evolution of starships. Through all the leaked documents and interviews, I couldn't really find any answer on what would have happened with Trip. I'm assuming he would have stayed dead, but perhaps this would have allowed for an actual funeral or something to get over his passing. Now, they did do this with Data and Picard, so it's fair to say they could have worked something out in a new season. It also seems like there's a lot of concepts being thrown around and built around the idea of the Borg. Judith and Garfield Reeves Stevens, famous for ghostwriting the Shatnerverse, had pitched the idea of an origin story for the Borg Queen. The idea was to have the returning Borg Queen actress Alice Krige as a scientist, studying the wreckage of the Borg material left behind during First Contact. Unfortunately, this would have been a bit of a continuity error, as the Borg Queen did identify herself as not being a human. Further dealings with the Borg would have been made difficult to explain some of the events in the Next Generation. The flip side of that is it would have been a cool explanation to the Queen's obsession with Picard, as well as their fascination with Earth. Talks had also emerged about William Shatner returning to play himself, an older Mirror Universe Kirk who had been trapped in the past and was trying to return home. Once again, this created a bit of a bottleneck of the universe and a load of issues with canon. Suffice to say, they probably dodged a bullet on this one.
Do you smell something burning?
Additional ideas included seeing the Columbia a few more times and expanding character stories on the crew. Guinan would have made a few guest appearances. Another episode would have focused on the first starbase construction, which would have been a cool concept, but the idea alone is not really compelling for a 44-minute episode. The one truly great idea was the reveal that T'Pol's father was in fact a Romulan spy. The idea would have led to plenty of great character moments and potential drama. It would have also explained T'Pol's inability to control her emotions and sometimes lack of control. Not to mention, it just would have been a great episode idea. A season arc would have also focused on the Mars colony and their revolution. I think this could have been a great arc to explore the Federation and Starfleet's dealing with political inner workings. Fans did their best to bring back the show to Netflix years ago. Years have passed and it looks like it won't be coming back. Star Trek has continued in a much different direction under new leadership, leaving the Braga and Berman days behind. It's safe to say their time has come and went. Enterprise, like its older brothers, really struggled to find its footing and took a bit too long for audiences to buy into the concept. It paid the ultimate price. For now, we will always be looking on to the possibility of what if. So, what do you guys think of the ideas for Enterprise? Do these intrigue you? What is your favorite idea? Let me know in the comments and I'll see you on the next video.